It's really just getting out of their own head, and realizing they don't need to be the one taking photos, installing the lockboxes, searching Google for a last minute vendor. That's not what they got into real estate for.
Yeah.
They got into real estate for the freedom. And every hour they spend chasing a task is time lost with their family. And that's really what we're able to come in and help them hopefully understand the power of buying back their time. Investor Boots was built to give our members their time back, as it's the most valuable asset you have that they have.
Welcome back, folks, to the Pete Podcast, where we discuss the latest in REI tech, trends, and inspo. My name's MJ. I'm the beer host as usual, and I'm super psyched to welcome Steve Cohen to our show today. He is the founder of Investor Boots. So for those of you in the real estate, investing spaces who need to have boots on the ground, I'm talking about nationwide for a variety of services, you need to tune in for episode today. So without further ado, welcome, Steve. Thank you for being on the show. How are you?
What's up, MJ? I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me.
No, it's great to have you here. And I think the first question for our listeners out there is, what did you set out to do and what did you set out to build with Investor Boots? And kind of walk us through kind of what the vision was for your company.
Yeah. Investor Boots, nationwide boots on the ground. The real estate investors' one-stop shop, like I said, for nationwide boots on the ground. What had happened was I was originally getting in this space to become an investor. And I handpicked my team from top to bottom. They were family members, they were friends, and I could trust everybody. They were trustworthy and reliable. And what was happening on every transaction was we'd ultimately end up putting the deal in the hands of this remote, random person that we had no idea who they were. This was the person going out to take photos or set up a lockbox or do a notarization. And as you know, they could say something stupid. Maybe they canceled an appointment. Maybe they were a no-show. And this random person ultimately had the potential of derailing the entire deal.
Yep.
And I knew no matter how much blood, sweat, and tears my team was putting into these transactions, you're only as good as your weakest link. It's a cliche. I get it, but it's a cliche for a reason. And I knew there needed to be a better way out there to get trustworthy and reliable help at all of our properties across the country.
Yeah. No, I think that's right. Something you touched on right there. I still have my broker's license to this day, but I always remember when I was more actively practicing real estate, you give up so much control during parts of that transaction, right? And the more you can control, the more agency you have over the entire process, the better chances you have that it's going to be successful. You're going to close. You're going to get that deal, right? And so I really appreciate hearing, essentially you trying to retain agency over and create the experience you're having, it sounds like, with working with trusted people, whether it's your family or, close network, for other investors out there. So when you say you guys are nationwide, does that mean you have teams of people in, most states, or tell us a little bit about how that worked? Yeah.
So our boost force, all right, this is our database of over 330,000 reps located throughout the country.
Wow.
That's what we've never had to turn anybody down for business. I always say I'm the mayor of BFE. So even in the most remote areas, we're able to get boots on the ground for our members. And by having such a large database, this has helped us, or allowed us to help our members shadow the geographical limitation you guys all face, where maybe they're working in their backyard or their city or their county, or maybe they have a friend in another state that can help them. Well, we shadow that geographical limitation they face, and we're able to provide trustworthy and reliable boots on the ground in any city across the country so that they can do deals virtually anywhere they please. And let me just to push on that a little bit. Our mission at Investor Boots is really simple. It's to help investors buy back their time, move faster, and build a business that funds their freedom.
Yeah, I think that's wonderful. Yeah, financial freedom, the flexibility to do with your time as you want. I think it's every entrepreneur, but every investor's dream. And when you got started, Steve, were you primarily investing out of what state are you based in?
I'm based out of California.
Okay. So were you making investments out of Cali or in South Cali?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, we were doing virtual deals in other states, and that's
Yeah.
why we were running into that problem.
Yeah. What are some of the services you guys provide? Like what, I imagine maybe there's, like lockboxes, other things. Like walk us through kind of some of the services that clients can kind of expect when they work with investor boots.
Yeah, the analogy I always use, if you're an investor right now, you're not using investor boots, all right? You're operating your business with a screwdriver, a manual crank screwdriver. When you hire investor boots, we show up to town
Hmm.
with the ultimate platinum deluxe power drill. We have every drill bit imaginable, and we probably even have some drill bits you never thought about using
I
before.
love this analogy. I'm walking down the Home Depot aisle right now shopping with you. Uh-huh. Yeah, that's great.
So that's going to be your photos, okay? Exterior and interior
Okay.
photos. Lockbox installs, we do same day across the country.
Hmm.
Room measurements, we're able to go out and do wellness checks. Let's say the seller's ghosted you. Who hasn't had that happen? We can send a rep out to the
Wow.
property, hand off a letter of your choice, and say, "Hey, MJ's been trying to reach you.
Hmm.
She wanted you to have her updated contact information, let you know she's been trying to call you."
Yeah.
So a wellness check is a great way to be able to nudge a seller, let them know you're serious, let them know you have resources in the area.
Yeah.
We also offer letter posting. So we're able to go have our rep print out a letter of your choice and
Mhm.
post it to the door of the subject property.
Okay.
And our members get super creative. So
Hmm.
one recently we had our member wanted us to print out a letter, and they gave our rep $50 to place in the envelope. It was a squatter situation. And they essentially
Okay.
offered the squatter, hey, there's more money where this came from. Give us the call. We
Yeah.
want to give you money to move out of the property. And it was
Wow.
success. The squatter ended up calling, and they were able to get the squatter out of the property. So it's really just getting creative, knowing that you have
Yeah.
reps across the country to handle these odd jobs that you need.
Sure.
We do notarizations, raw notarizations, remote online, in-person
Okay.
notarizations. Hopefully everybody's getting their contracts notarized. Fraud is absolutely surging.
Yeah.
And that's a great way to stay
Mhm.
protected. And we also offer all of our professional services as well. It's going to be your
Okay.
maid service, clean out, junk removal, handyman services, locksmith service, lawn service, licensed home inspections,
Mm.
and our high-end photography services, HD photos, drone photos and videos, so on and so forth.
No, that's huge. It's amazing to think about what you could do and to be able to expand your full list of your suite, so to say, of services that you're able to, offer for yourself, right, as an investor, and for your own transactions. Thinking about if you literally were in each of the states you're investing in,
Yeah.
um, would you say, is Investor Boots primarily, well suited for folks who are flipping, for folks who are wholesaling, or is it really, who's your target audience at the end of the day?
I'd say the majority of our orders come from wholesalers, but
Okay.
we've just had a surge of so many people signing up to use our service and getting creative, from property managers. A major property management company in the industry, recently switched to using our service. So they were able to lower the property management fees by just kind of having people who are ready on a moment's notice to go out and handle these tasks.
Sure.
Some of our members do have Airbnbs. We'll
Hmm.
ship blankets and photos to our reps and have them put blankets on the couch, put photos in the frames.
Wow.
So we've seen an influx of people just really getting creative
Mhm.
and using our boots force for all of these random acts and services they need at these properties.
Yeah. Well, I got to ask the question, man, because this is so impressive. You said you have around 330,000,
Yeah.
you know, people or boots on the ground. I don't know if I should divide that by two if it's, two boots per rep, but essentially you got a lot of people. Uh
Yeah.
and how, how does that work for you? How are you, able to run that, like manage that many people, a company of that size and sales?
That's actually the easy part was getting the word out and getting people to sign up to
Okay.
to get certified in the various tasks that we do.
Yep.
So that's actually the easiest part is just having them in our vendor database. I mean,
Hmm.
that's been taking us years to build up.
Yeah.
So luckily that part is low management. And what our current scheduling platform does a really good job of is keeping everybody updated on their background checks, whatever certifications they need, if they're a
Sure.
notary, if they're a realtor, if they're an attorney, so on and so forth. It's really good at just making sure everybody stays current with insurance,
Yeah,
and all that
that's
stuff.
great. Yeah. Well, and where did you guys start?
2021.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
What have you seen as like when investors are getting into the space, because you've also been investing for some time now actively, uh, what are some of the limitations that they face that outside of outside of the more nuanced ones that investors face when they're trying to buy out of state or virtually, that you guys kind of say like, hey, we got that covered. That's not even a question for us.
What are some of the, you were saying, obstacles the investors face?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Some common obstacles or limitations.
It's really just getting out of their own head, and realizing they don't need to be the one taking photos, installing the lockboxes, searching Google for a last minute vendor. That's not what they got into real estate for. They
Yep.
got into real estate for the freedom. And every hour they spend chasing a task is time lost with their family.
Hmm.
And that's really what we're able to come in and help them hopefully understand the power of buying back their time. Investor Boots was built to give our members their time back,
Hmm.
as it's the most valuable asset you have,
Yep.
that they have.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
yeah, I hope that answered your question.
It does. And I think one thing that, it kind of touches on is that as, you know, investors or entrepreneurs, it is often difficult to actually let go and not be the one to control every decision or and execute every decision, right?
Mhm.
And the art of delegating is really important if you're trying to quit.
Yeah,
So,
and let me just, the real leverage is choosing to delegate, not because you can't do it, but because you finally understand it's costing you too much if you don't.
yeah.
And that's really where we're able to come in. Our members that just get it, that understand, we're like DoorDash or Uber
Yeah.
Eats or
Yeah.
Instacart, but without the small talk and the surge prices. Our members that
Mhm.
truly get the value of using the service, we're seeing them just scale exponentially month over
Mhm.
month. I have some interesting um, statistics here, if I can
Oh, I'd love it. Yeah. Hit us with
show
them.
some to you. Let's see. So 63% of our members have an increase in order volume by month 3. All right, showing that once
Okay.
investors start using Investor Boots, they scale faster. 40% of our clients start placing orders in new states by month 2 of using our service, and 65 place orders in new states by month 4. Again, proving that we're not just helping them grow, we're helping them expand nationwide.
Hmm.
More than 90% of our orders are repeat customers. So once our
Yeah.
members try Investor Boost, they stick with us and embed it into their systems.
Hmm.
Our fastest day turnaround was 92 minutes from order placement to photos uploaded.
Wow.
And that's something I want to stress too. I've ingrained deep in my company's culture the necessity for speed. We want all of our members to have speed as an advantage. We want our members to
Hmm.
have their photos back, their lockbox set up, and their contract signed and notarized before their competition even gets started.
Yeah.
And that's really
Love
something
that.
super important to us. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, those are real stats or stats aren't that. We're data nerds over here, so it's always great to hear, numbers. Um, when you have, let the speaks volumes if you had 90% coming back as repeat clients, essentially, right? Um, how does it work for folks who choose to use Investor Boots? Is it a monthly subscription? Is it one time? Like, what are the terms essentially?
Great, great question. So you're going to receive a special link so everybody that is listening to the podcast can sign up without any fees, no monthly fees or anything like that. The way it works is you place your order, you pay for it at the time of order, and we complete it for you. Pay as you go. Um, I will say this: one of the things we've done recently is we moved to um, this bundled order model. So what we're trying to do is we're looking at all the statistics across the industry, and what we're trying to do is give our members almost an overwhelming amount of assets to hand off to their buyers. We
Okay.
want you to have a walkthrough video. We want you to have photos. We want you to have room measurements. We want to give you a 360 degree view, which we call the Investor Boots 360,
Hmm.
the Insight 360 of the surrounding homes and neighborhood in front of the property. Again, almost overwhelming your buyers with data so that they can make their decisions faster and more comfortably than they've ever been able to do.
Hmm.
Um, some of the data shows that real estate listings with video get 403% more inquiries than listings without. And more than 80% of our orders include a walkthrough video.
Okay.
So this is something that we're trying to really pass on to our members, this data, and showing them how they can use it to the best of their advantage.
Well, and I think in the world that we're living today, right, Steve, if you guys are experiencing and offering that data with the efficiency that you do, these buyers are going to try to find it elsewhere, right?
Mhm.
Or they're going to try to find it on their own because there's so much information available.
And maybe they won't even find it on their own. And that's why I really took it upon ourselves to find out what is the actual data that we need to know that's going to help our members truly succeed. We want to see them coming back and increasing their order volume month over month, which means they're scaling. Um, another one is Zillow reported that walkthrough videos help listings sell 32% faster than those without video.
Okay.
And so again, moving to this bundled model where we're giving our members photos, a walkthrough video, an outside 360 video, and room measurements has just been a game changer for everybody.
No, that's great. What's coming up next for you guys?
So 2024 or 2025 and 2024 was a big year for us moving into the coach and influencer space. We worked with a ton of the biggest coaches and influencers in the industry. We got integrated into their communities. And that's been amazing. And where 2026 is going to lead us to is getting really integrated with the tech,
Okay.
the CRM platforms,
Hey.
the listing platforms, the lead gen platforms. Yeah. Um, so we're actually in the process of building out a new marketplace right now.
Okay.
And it's going to be a game changer for our members. We're going to be able to integrate with various CRMs, like I said, listing platforms, lead generation platforms, and we're going to be able to just make the order process a lot easier, a lot more user friendly, speed up the turnaround times for our members. One thing I want to stress is it doesn't matter at the end of the day, what listing platform, what MLS listing platform you're using, lead generation or CRM platform you're using. Every one of these transactions is going to require a physical component in order for the order to be completed. And that's really where Investor Boots comes in, and we complete that physical component of the transaction. So that's going to be huge for us in 2026, really rolling up our sleeves and getting integrated with the tech platforms.
Yeah. Well, we're excited to talk since when we think.
Yeah, that's going to be, we're excited about that.
Well, there's just so much. I think, like you said, as tech fast forwards at crazy, crazy rates, what it will never be able to replace. It's not the mundane tasks, right? But it is the things that you need on the ground. It is the things that require human touch point, right? Posting that notice to the door, blankets, things like that. And so I think you guys are poised in a really beautiful place to continue scaling. What we've seen, like with Pete, is that investors who have a strong and dynamic CRM in place, so a proper system, right? That's harnessing the power of data and analytics, KPIs, right? In investors' cases. They're seeing these investors are seeing an increase in closings of like 29%, and that's a big deal if you're trying to scale, if you're trying to optimize, if you're trying to get to the next level. So,
it's massive. Now imagine if they were in Pete and they needed a notarization and they didn't have to leave Pete.
Yeah.
They clicked get my document notarized, and that's really what we're going to be working on with you guys. We're excited about that. Just a lot of potential out there.
Yeah, everything in one place. Because I think that's the thing is that once anyone kind of vets one vendor, right, whether it's their CRM or their service provider in some capacity, if you're opening doors to another service provider that's vetted, and they're more likely to continue on that experience, right, and see where it takes them. So, this new marketplace, when can folks look out for this?
This is going to come early 2026. This will be January of 2026.
Okay.
And there'll
Exciting.
definitely be, yeah, plenty of announcements leading up to it just to give everybody a heads up.
Yeah. So I take it all of your investing, you were Investor Boots' first client, I imagine, officially. Everything goes through testing with you.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your investing journey and, like, are you investing in all states at this point, Steve? Like, what's happening?
No. My journey wasn't like that. Mine took a turn. Once I saw the potential here and I
Mhm.
saw the gap in the industry for boots on the ground,
Yeah.
that's when I realized I was going to put all my eggs in one basket and go
Okay.
all in on
Okay.
this industry. So my portfolio isn't probably what people think it is. It was short lived at the beginning of my career. And like I said, I went
Yeah.
all in on investor boots,
I love it.
just to really to fill that gap for my company.
Hmm.
And then it just took me to a place I never
Yeah.
imagined.
Well, it's a similar journey as we've had, at least. John and Amy, your active investors, they had used a variety of different systems to keep their business organized, and then finally decided, hey, we need a system that has everything in place but has a beautiful UI UX. And so they're like, well, if it's not here, we got to right and develop it.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Did you have any background in tech or,
No, no, not at all.
okay.
Well,
Okay.
I always knew how to find the right people.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's
Which is
great.
really important. But yeah, in my background, no background in tech whatsoever.
Okay. Wow. So do you continue to hire family now that Investor Boots is, fully thriving? Is your family off the hook? To we no longer have
Yeah.
husbands and, nephews and with having to, do lock boxes, or are they some of the recs that people might be hiring with your Investor Boots?
They're not the reps, and as Investor Boots started to really pick up traction and become what it is, everybody really stayed in the investment space, and I had to hire other roles that really, family wasn't going to be able to fill for me, like my COO or CFO, stuff like that. But
Yeah.
my family stayed in the investment space.
Hmm.
They're doing amazing. They've been obviously my longest member.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, it just goes to show, just having a trustworthy and reliable source for boots on the ground can really go a long way, especially with all the amazing tech that's out there. What you guys are doing with Pete, and the AI that's coming out,
Hmm.
the data and the insights
Yeah.
that are available to investors is nothing like the industry's seen before.
Agreed.
And then when you have a reliable boots on the ground source,
Hmm.
you're just unstoppable.
So just on that topic, I know we have to wrap up soon, but I love your love of data. It's nice to hear that reflected. What are what are some, I'm going to use the word, like misconceptions, I guess, that investors have when it comes to data. You can speak from your own, like insight, having had, your portfolio and investing, or even just what you see. How do you think people handle data? How do you think I should be handling data? What do you think people should be looking for? So for some of our listeners out there who are either just starting on their investment journey, or for those who are more seasoned, you're looking at numbers all day. So I'm curious.
Yeah, look, I don't think investors, for whatever reason, I don't think they understand how to leverage the data.
Okay.
Unfortunately, that's in my experience. They're not using the data to their advantage. They're not keeping track of the data properly. And that's really what we're running into, and why I wanted to
Mhm.
take this approach and really bring these statistics to their attention and let them know what the industry trends are, where the hot spots are in the industry, what is everybody doing, what are the orders we're seeing coming in,
Yeah.
what is our highest selling bundle. um and so we're just trying to take all of our data, find out what's working for our members that are increasing their volume month over month,
Mhm.
and be able to deliver it in a way that all of our members, because my biggest member now started off as the guy doing 3 deals a month 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Now they place 10 orders a day. So, well, that's one of my biggest members. So, I long-winded answer, but I just don't see investors, unfortunately, using the data to the best of their advantage that they could be. Like
Mhm.
I said, with all the amazing tech that's out there,
Yeah.
And so I've taken it upon myself to definitely sift through all the data that's out there and make sure they're getting everything in front of them that I think is important.
Yeah. No, I think it's great. And I will say, I think even in the conversations we have with folks, it's very common that I find, you know, a lot of investors are utilizing their CRM systems to maybe 35 to, I'd say 65% of its potential. And a lot of these systems are built to automate, at least with the way we run Pete, to really automate buying a lot of the deliverators, right? So that you can just spend more time looking at your numbers and pulling your KPIs and looking at the things that matter, right? So I think with the work that you guys are doing and giving, investors access to just some of these stats, some of these things that are really helping to close deals, move them forward at least. Uh, it's going to be wonderful to see, what comes up next for Nested Boots. So
Yeah, definitely. Investors, I think they just need to find, investors for the most part aren't the tech geeks that know how to geek out on the data and know how to
visionaries.
filter it all. Yeah, the visionaries, and find out what they need. So
Mhm.
if they could just get somebody in that role for their company,
Exactly.
somebody to really drive the data home, and that's what they focus on, man, they could leverage that
hmm
beast.
Yeah. We're at an event recently, and there was, a well-known entrepreneur investor out there, and he actually called his data guy on stage with him, and it said, I have a meeting with him for 15 to 20 minutes every morning, and he just hammers home all the statistics, everything about where our business is at for that day, right? It's a recap. It's what I need to know high level, but it also drills down into the minutia so that I don't have to spend time, because I'm not going to spend that time. I'm thinking about the other 15 things that I want to do, right?
Yeah.
And where I want our business to go. But in order to be able to go and head in the direction I want us to head in, I need to know where we're at today. So like you said, hire, delegate, sign, rinse, repeat, right? Well, I think that's our time for today, Steve. I can talk to you forever about data and numbers and just listen to stats all day.
Yeah, let's do this again in 2026 when the
Let's
market
do it.
picks up.
100%. So for those of you who are listening today, again, Steve Cohen, Investor Boots. If you need boots on the ground, we're talking a wide array of services, right? We just got into some of them, but you need to get to their website, and there will be links in all of all here with this episode to follow along. But you need to check out what they're doing, because you're not limited in this day and age to investing just in your state or in your nearby area, neighboring states. You could be investing nationwide. One of the best ways to do that successfully is to set yourself up with good and good relationships along the way. And that's really what Stephen has built. So we appreciate you. And honestly, we're excited what you guys are up to moving forward.
Thanks again, MJ. Likewise, you guys are onto some big things, and I'm happy to partner with you guys and know you guys, and I'm excited for what's to come for sure.
Yeah, likewise. Catch you soon.
Sounds great.